Welcome to the July 24th edition of Elements of Spirit, the weekly reading series from ediblespirit.com, and your host, Michael Domitrovich, that's me, bringing you readings through the elements of earth, air, water, fire, and ether. Ether being the space in which all of the elements of earth, air, water, and fire are unfolding. Earth, air, water, and fire being visible in the world around us in their primal forms, elemental forms of earth, air, water, and fire, but also representing a boatload more, including your physical experience, that's the earth, your emotional experience, that's the water, your mental experience, that's the air, and your spiritual experience, that's the fire. Fire, spiritual, healing, transformative, action, will to be, will to exist. So the idea is that each of these areas of experience, each of these elements are associated with count them, three astrological signs. All of those descriptions are in the comment section below this reading. So what you do is you listen to the ether reading, and then you find your element as associated with your sun sign from astrology. So whatever your horoscope birthday sign is, find the element that's associated with it. Watch this reading for ether, then watch that reading for the element, and you combine the two together and you get your elements of spirit for the week. And the idea is to respect and honor that everyone is made up of a combination of all these different elements, and to try to offer insight into the ether, the space in which we find ourselves this week, that we're all sharing at this time here on this wackadoo planet. And then to further honor the primary element in your being, as associated with the sun sign or moon, rising. If you have a lot of planets in your astrological chart in one sign or in one element, chances are you want to watch that reading too. So each of the readings has an affirmation with them, and when you listen to that affirmation, or when you use that affirmation throughout the week, it can sort of plug you back into the content from this reading from this week. So without further ado, we go into the ether. Okay, I'm thinking about recording that as like a separate blurb, so that I don't have to give it to you every week. But I do this for all of the new people that are tuning in. So I like to sort of give the intention of the reading before we do the reading. So that's what I was thinking about. Let's see where the ether takes us now. Okay. Sorry, it's a nice written message. Okay. So, to you and yours. Okay, cool. So, here's the message. If you guys have been tuning in to me for a while, or you've ever worked with me, you know that technically I begrudgingly identify as a healing channel. I channel information, energy for you, for your healing, for your well-being. I make no claims as to the veracity or the belief system behind the work that I do. I use it for results, and I've been getting great feedback from you guys, so that feels great. And I want to give you this message, which is coming in through the ether, through the element of ether. Fun is real. Fun is real. Joy is possible. Joy is possible. It's not pleasure. It's not pain. It is contentment, joy. It is alignment, joy, with what matters to you and yours. Fun is real. Joy is possible. It's not pleasure. It's not pain. It is contentment. It is alignment with what matters to you and yours. This is the message through the ether. So as I'm writing this, I'm getting all of these beautiful sensations and images of family, frickin' campfires, storytelling. Oh God, storytelling, sharing. There's something about healing the tribal connection this week. Healing tribal connection. Wow, this is giving me big goosebumps. Telling origin stories. Origin stories of yourself, of your tribe, of your nation, even, of your nation, of your lineage. Myths, fairy tales, but also just stories. How did I get to be here? What steps have I taken along the way? What has my journey been? And there's this emphasis on sharing stories with your tribe, sharing stories with the tribe. Why? Because the stories, the oral history, one of my beloved bestie beings in this world is the storyteller, master storyteller, Susan Klein. I hope you're watching. Um, Susan is a storyteller. She tells stories around the world. She keeps track of lineages and oral histories, and she helps other people to tell their stories and to find the thread of their truth in their stories. And I mean, I'm getting my truth bumps talking about it. In this modern world, the importance of storytellers, it's significant. We all fucking love to binge on these stories. Handmaid's Tale was a great novel, great story, but now it is 10 hours of season 1. It's like 8 hours, whatever it is, but it's different. The way we're processing stories, we are all loving stories right now, but what Susan does so beautifully is she tells the stories of people, and she sort of holistically and synesthetically knows the implications of the stories because of who she learned them from, where they came from, the literal events that occur, the creation of a river or a lake or a stream, but also the metaphorical events that precipitate those literal events, the way that those stories are shared. How she once said to me, know your audience. It's the first rule: know and respect your audience, right? Like, know who you're talking to, but don't pander. Just know and allow yourself to adjust to and feel the room and share a story from another tribe with a tribe that's in front of you that maybe you don't know. What she leaves out of a story is always, like any great chef, creator, artist, is always more interesting than what you put into the story. So, point is, when you tell your stories to your tribe, to each other within the tribe, the point is to tell literal things that have happened to you, but also to remember your favorite stories, myths, fairy tales, shared meanings within the tribe, and also origin stories of the tribe. How did we get here? So if you're sitting with people that you've known for 5-10 years, reminisce, go back there, but not just to like, oh, remember that event and how it led to this and how it led to this and how that brought us here. Aren't we an interesting family of weirdos? Self, tribe, nation, lineage. I'm Greek and Croatian and a little Sicilian, so I love to tell stories about my grandparents and about, on both sides, and to trace the healing lineage through my dad's line and the mystical lineage through my grandmother's line. And my point is that this is what this thing is. Fun is real, joy is possible. It's not pleasure, it's not pain. It is contentment, it is alignment with what matters to you and yours, okay? So the idea is fun is real and joy is possible, but it's not about escapism in the midst of whatever like insanity is going on around you this week, in the last week. It's not about escapism. Joy and fun are not about I think in divertir in Spanish, divertido is like diverted. Like distracting. Fun is not a distraction in this read. Fun is joy. Fun is real. Joy is possible. But it's not pleasure and it's not pain. It's not just what makes you feel good or what makes you feel bad, because plenty of people make their whole lives out of what makes them feel like shit. It is contentment. So I always say I don't aspire to a great fucking life. I don't care about living my best life. I aspire to a general state of okayness at all times. I just want to be fine. Why do I have to be great or miserable? Why can't I just be fine? I mean, I love drama, so when someone's like, how are you? Oh, I'm great, or oh, it's miserable, but I'm fine, I'm okay. It's not pain, it's contentment. But where does contentment and joy come from? It comes from alignment with what matters to you and yours. Specifically, if you go to ediblespirit.com on the blog, we're talking about the Leo new moon, which is 2:45 Sunday morning. So by the time you're watching this on Monday, it will have transpired. But there's a ritual on the website for the Leo new moon, which is about articulating the things inside of you that you love the most about yourself, honoring them, respecting them, and then sharing them with the tribe, sharing them with your people, sharing them with your audience, your tribe, or with your social network, to be honest, your whomever you would describe as like your innermost circle. The idea of the Leo new moon is to brazenly, innocently, sweetly, like baby Simba lion, right? Moon and Leo, share the innermost parts of yourself, because sun and moon are both in Leo. So your power comes from your heart, and if you look into your heart, you'll see your truth there right now. And the idea is that it's sweet, and it's innocent, and it's loving, but it wants to come out. So, so check that ritual out for the new moon. It's okay to do it a day or two after the new moon if you're catching it late. But the idea is that is about you. That's about getting this kind of energy. Fun is real. Joy is possible. It's not pleasure. It's not pain. It is contentment. It is alignment with what matters to you. That's your heart, and yours. That's the tribe. So the Leo new moon read this week and the ritual this week, it's in approaching the big new moon and eclipse of August. So that's sort of like individual, and then we get to collective in a month. Individual heart, the heart of yourself, sharing it with those around you is now. The collective heart, heart of humanity, heart of the tribe, heart of the people, heart of the world, heart of humanity, is August. Okay, that's what starts to roll out in August. So this week's Elements of Spirit Ether reading is encouraging you to focus on fun and joy, and not just pleasure, not just pain, but fun, lightheartedness, and joy, contentment, which comes from alignment to yourself and alignment to the tribe. So that's what this reading is more so focusing on. Alignment with the priorities of the tribe. And that's why I went into that long tangent about storytelling and myth. Because the idea is that the myths of the Greeks, right, take the pantheon of the Greeks, the gods that the Greeks used to understand the forces of nature. And now we have all these beautiful stories about these forces, which we might not understand, but through the stories of the myth, we get to understand not only those forces, but also our tribe's perspective on those forces. Same thing with all of the other pantheons of the Hindus and the Native Americans and the deep Polynesians and the Central, Meso, Latin, South American lineages and tribes. All of these deities are means of understanding the forces of nature. But what we're focusing on in this reading is the joy that comes from connection to a shared understanding of these forces. And we can be really abstract about it. We can talk about the sun and the moon and the stars, and you can tell, I'm Greek, I would tell you a Greek myth and talk to you about why I relate so much to, what pops into my head right now is Diana and Artemis. I'm trying to just dive into the earth and nature and the woods. I saw a deer yesterday. A friend of mine sent me a picture of a little baby deer, and she was like, "Look, it's you," because I got fuzzy antlers and the big brown eyes. So I'm feeling very Diana. You don't have to be so literal. It's not about the pantheon of the gods. Now we're talking about what are the stories within your tribe that you can share with each other that connect you to the history, the values, the alignment with what matters to you and yours, to you as an individual in the tribe and to the tribe. I have a beautiful tribe of healers. We believe in healing. So if I were to do this, and maybe I will do this, I will sit down at some point this week or at every point this week and just put a little more care into sharing your story and finding out the story, not of freaking everyone, because that's what I'll probably do, but because I love people, but of at least your innermost circle, so that you can start to articulate and share values that maybe might be missing in the chaos of the world around you. And the idea is that if you can connect to those values in yourself, you've got a life raft in the storm. That's kind of what the Leo new moon is about. If you can connect to the greater values in society and work towards achieving those values, manifesting those values, or love, and specifically lovingly manifesting those values, not like imposing the values, but urging, communicating, sharing tribal stories. Where did these values come from? Then maybe when we get around to August, that's the mode we'll activate into inquiring what are our shared values as humanity. For now, it's about connecting to, wow. Sorry, there's a lot of words. Wow, okay, that's it. Thank you. Okay. Fun. Thanks for bearing with me. This is your affirmation for the week for the ether. I connect to my origin stories and honor the value in them. I share my stories with my tribe and enjoy the clarity and support that comes from within us all. It's a long one, but it's a good one. I connect to my origin stories and honor the values in them. I share my stories with my tribe and enjoy the clarity and support that comes from within us all. The Leo new moon is really about your inner truth and being very, very forthright, honest, and sincere with yourself so that that truth can effortlessly express itself through you. When we come to August, maybe we'll see. I mean, it feels like we're going to be talking about reckoning with that shared truth of humanity, or at least of the frickin' United States, which ergo is like connected to all of humanity through all of these Aquarian systems and through all of these varying global identities. But for now, we're not probing, we're not digging for the truth. We're beautifully, playfully, warmly opening our hearts in a circle and opening our hearts to the shared hearts of our circle. So like opening our hearts to the open heart of our circle and just seeing what shakes loose. And I'm getting truth bumps, so that's how I know this is a good read. Letting yourself get into that dreamy, fun, playful, joyful space. Like, it fucking sucks out there. I don't know how we keep making it through the days, but if we get into this space of somewhere inside of us, our values, which can support ourselves, somewhere inside the group of us, our stories and values and powers and magic and myths and legends that explain forces, that articulate shared values, that bond us as a tribe. Maybe your tribe is one, two people. Maybe your tribe is invisible, and it's just that you're going to share stories with your guides and your animal spirits and your relatives who've crossed over, or your pets that moved on a long time ago. That's the vibe. Don't fucking take this too seriously. It's like you want to use this whole week to get dreamy and sweet and share and understand. And how did that come about? Ask a lot of questions. How did that come about? How did you get there? How did we get there? How did we meet again? Where did you come from? Wow, that's so interesting. That's such an interesting story. I really learned something from you sharing that with me today. Not just about you, not just about me, but about us and our shared values. And maybe if we, as a tribe, have a little bit more appreciation, not understanding, this is internal clarity and support that comes from within us all. If we can honor ourselves as individuals enough to honor our shared identity as a tribe, the clarity and support that comes from within us all is gentle. It doesn't need to be literal, definitive. It says maybe in this sharing, we lift ourselves up enough as a tribe that we're not submerged by this complete crisis of truth. Okay. Your affirmation once more. I connect to my origin stories and honor the values in them. I share my stories with my tribe and enjoy the clarity and support that comes from within us all. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, P.S. If you've made it this far, on Monday, the 24th, it's today, later in the day, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. East Coast, I'm going to be doing a Facebook live stream at facebook.com/ediblespirit from the Edible Spirit page with my buddy John Hill, whose show I'm also doing tomorrow. I'm recording these Sunday, but on Monday the 24th at 1 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. He and I are doing, we take live calls on his Sirius show on Radio Andy, Sirius XM channel 102. And you'll see that on Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And then at 4 o'clock tomorrow, we're doing our first live broadcast of our episode that we're calling Let's Get Mystical. And we're taking live calls. So if you want to call in and you don't have Sirius, we're creating this Facebook Live opportunity for people that like these readings and people that listen to our show or that like us and want to listen to our show to get to us without having to subscribe. Obviously, it would be great if you subscribe to Sirius. Sirius would love that. But if you're not doing that, or if you don't have a car, like I don't have a car at the moment, so why would I have Sirius at the moment? You can tune into us on Facebook Live tomorrow, and then that'll be up on the Edible Spirit page, maybe over on YouTube, where these videos end up. We'll see. We'll see how this digital boom is going to happen with Edible Spirit. But for now, thank you for tuning into the Ether reading. Check out Earth, Air, Water, Fire as follows, and I'll see you next week. Bye.